Let's talk Girlypop. Welcome in. I'm your host, Chloe Taylor, and this episode really is for the real ones that watch every single week or listen every single week and are like chomping at the bit when I'm not here. This is for y'all because I really was going to just drop off the face of the earth, say nothing, and then come back in like, I don't know, 2 to 4 weeks and come back with like a bunch of stuff backstocked and like anyways, if you can't tell from the title or the thumbnail if you're watching, um we are going through a rebrand process. And I don't even know if I've changed the name officially yet, so the podcast might also pop up as something different, but we are rebranding. I mentioned this recently on my Instagram. If you don't follow me, that is like the one social media platform that I feel like I spend probably, I don't want to say most of my time because I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but it's the one platform you're going to have to rip it from my cold dead hands basically, because it's the one platform that I love it as an expression. And I literally deleted my TikTok. I don't have one anymore. I don't really upload to a lot of YouTube shorts, though I could. But Instagram, ever since it was born, like I was there when Instagram was new, and I've always loved, of all of the apps, that one has always been the one I've liked the most as a creative person. And I've actually been putting a bunch of new content out over there that's like talking more about my weight loss journey, talking more about astrology. So, first and foremost, I will still be uploading over there. So, if you're not following me, make sure that you do. And if we haven't already renamed ourselves yet, you may already know what the new podcast name is, but if you don't, you technically can find it from my Instagram profile. I already have it listed. I already reserved the username. So, early peaks. Potentially you already know though. I haven't decided how that's happening yet. In any case, I wanted to talk a little bit about the reconstruction, about the rebrand, and first and foremost, I think the most important thing to note is that I don't know that the content is really going to change all that much. I think we're still going to have a lot of the same topics, a lot of the same level of interest that I've already been giving and serving, which I always say that I consider my podcast like it's a podcast of personality. Like, it's literally just me talking about the things that I'm interested in or curious about. And I'm a Gemini moon. I have an Aries Mercury. I literally have no filter. Like, there is no filter between what I think and what comes out of my mouth unless I edit it in post. Like, I don't have a filter. I need an outlet to just speak. And I've always used my podcast that way, even when I used to have one that was under like a completely different branch of what I was doing at the time. And so really like it is therapy for me in a way. But I also have so much fun like building this thing and just seeing what can happen. But we have been through many renditions over the years. I've talked about this before. I had a podcast called The Coffee Pod. I think that was the original. I had a Twin Flames podcast that I actually ran with a co-host at the time. I have had many different names for this podcast. It was the like Cozy Kale or the Cozy Cast, I think was the original name. And then it was Divine Authenticity, Authentic and Unapologetic. Actually, I think Authentic and Unapologetic came first. Then it was Divine Authenticity, which was a pretty sick name. I'm just going to say it. Saturn and Neptune have moved from Pisces into Aries. Literally the day that I'm filming this, that conjunction has taken place and we're currently in it. And I don't feel like this means death to all cozy content creators. I just feel like that's not where we are as a society anymore. And you will notice that this stuff is going to shift over time because we as a collective are going to move away from that like ethereal Pisces energy. Neptune is going to be in Aries for something like 16 years, I believe. And then Saturn's going to be here for the next 3 or 2.5-ish, 3 years. So we're going to see this heavy emphasis in the collective on being bold, being yourself, speaking out, being the rebel, nurturing your inner rebel energy. And I just feel like I kind of missed the boat on cozy. Like, I should have gotten into that like 4 years ago when cozy was really popping off. And I just think from like a strategy perspective, it doesn't really make sense, even if TCBC is so cute as like a little acronym. I also feel like what I'm moving into now, the merch that I have been working on, oh man, you're not ready. When I say we are rebranding, it is like a new name for the podcast, new graphics. I'm shooting a new cover. Um, New merchandise. We're finally going to come back with new merchandise, which I haven't made merch in, it's definitely been over a year, maybe 2 years. Like you I will, unfortunately I will not be selling the Cozy Babe sweatshirt again, because we're moving on from the Cozy Babe era. But we're going through like a full changeover. I'm probably going to change some stuff on my Patreon as well because it's the Cozy Babes Club. The Discord is going to get a new name. Like, we are going through a full blown evolution. And as I'm doing all this stuff, it is to hopefully come to a place of better alignment with myself and what I want to build for the foreseeable future. So, yeah, I feel like this has kind of been a long time in coming. And if I could say one more thing about the astrology of it all, I don't know how much I talked about this in the past, but I had an eclipse happen. If you're an astrology buff or you're not, I feel like this might be something you want to know for the future for yourself. So just stick with me for a second. I had an eclipse happen on my midheaven, which the midheaven in astrology is like your highest point of glory. It is what you project to the world. So, like, when I'm speaking to you, if you don't know me, like in my personal life, if you don't know me, you probably get a lot of Virgo energy out of me because my midheaven is in Virgo. And it comes with this, like, I feel like when I present things, I feel like my best self when everything is like curated and put together and it's like fully formed and everything is cohesive and consistent. And there is something about that that really draws me in. And when I put things out, and you can do this in your own chart and like figure out the midheaven. It's always, well, it's not always in the 10th house technically. But the midheaven, it's just the highest point in the chart. Um, but I feel like because I am a Sagittarius rising, I basically have all of these big grand ideas as an individual. And then I have this Virgo midheaven that comes in and says, okay, we're going to take all those big ideas and here's how we're going to meticulously boom, 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 boom. So I haven't felt that way for a while though. Like, I feel like the last like year, maybe 2 years has really felt like me just kind of floundering and being like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just showing up and I'm just trying. I'm not really committed to anything. I'm going to try to commit to some stuff. I commit to some stuff for a little bit. And then eventually I'm like, oh, it's not working. And why isn't it working? I don't know why it's not working. And this has been like the bane of my existence for the last few years. But recently, I had an eclipse to the exact degree. In astrology, if you're an astrology person, you know how serious that is. I had an eclipse take place during Pisces season. It was a full moon at 29 degrees Virgo. My midheaven is at 29 degrees Virgo. And so this eclipse was literally on top of my midheaven and my career. And I feel like though it was a really peaceful time, I'd already been doing the work to let go and release. And that was when I stopped doing tarot professionally. I posted a video to my YouTube channel that I wasn't going to be offering that anymore. I do still read private charts and private card readings, which currently are back in stock if you've been waiting for one. There is, I think, a stock of everything right now, and there are not very many. So if you want to get that, make sure that you do. ChloeTaylor.com. But I still do that like personally for independent clients, but I don't do it public facing anymore. And mostly because I feel like I came to say what I needed to say. Like it just wasn't in alignment with where I was going anymore. And I like posted the video that I wasn't going to be doing this thing anymore. And I completely stopped posting on that YouTube channel, which was relatively close to 100K, but we spent like 2 years just on the decline. So I felt like I'd built like this really powerful thing. And then I don't know, I just kind of lost my juice for it. So, anyways, this eclipse comes in and I feel like I made a lot of finalizing decisions at that time, and it was a point of power though. Like I wasn't feeling I'd already kind of gone through a lot of the grief of this stuff, like mourning what I wasn't going to be doing anymore way earlier in the year in 2025. Like I remember Pisces, it was Virgo season that happened. Pisces season earlier in the year, I was not well last year. Like a year ago, I was like really down in the dumps, really mourning my career, really not understanding why things were not working for me. And I just couldn't get it together. But ultimately, I think that what it really boiled down to is I'm just meant to move on. And then I got like a little more vested in my podcast because that's the one thing. This is the one thing that like I don't ever want to not podcast. I really enjoy it. I feel like I have a lot to say. I feel like it's something that makes me happy. And even if nobody listened, I like to do it. It's fun. It's a fun form of creativity for me. So I kind of doubled down on the podcast and put everything else by the wayside. Like kept up with my Patreon, kept up with some private clients here and there. But ultimately, I've just kind of been like, okay, I'm just going to put stuff out and see how it goes. I'm not really like, normally I'm somebody that has a lot of goals and I'm like, this is what I want and this is how I'm going to get it. And I just have not had that. So to come into this era where literally so many planets just ingressed, like we had Neptune move into Aries, we had Saturn move into Aries. Uranus is going to change signs this year. I don't think it has yet. We're also having eclipses changing signs, which does happen roughly every 18 months, but still. Um, and we also have Mars, the planet of our like get up and go, doesn't go retrograde once this year. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's like moving forward. And I definitely feel that energy. I definitely feel like this is the thing that I'm like, yeah, girl, I want to be doing all that. And I feel like I'm still kind of unfurling exactly what it is that I want to be doing, but I think I'm a lot closer than I was. And I just feel like I am somebody that I cannot I don't know what it is. I'm sure somebody out there relates. I cannot have a brand that I don't believe in. Like I have to be almost soul connected to it or I can't do it. I have too much integrity with myself to continue something that isn't giving me what I need it to give me. And the Cozy Babes Club, though she's cute, she's funky, she's fresh, I see a lot of positive things there. It just, I'm just going to say it like it is. I'm not cozy. Like, yes, I'm a Cancer Venus. Yes, I'm a Taurus Sun. You could argue that those are some pretty cozy placements. But I'm an Aries Mercury. When I start talking, I'm like, rar. I have things to say. I have like my favorite episodes of this podcast are the ones where I am up on my soapbox being like, listen here, bitch. Like, those are the ones that I feel like I am the most fierce, the most powerful. I have the most to say. So I feel like keeping that in mind with all of this influx of Aries energy, I just want to move in that direction. So I think I'm just going to say it because I think I will probably have already changed everything by then, at least name wise. Our podcast is now called Let's Talk Girlypop. And the Girlypop merch that will be coming. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm very excited about this, but a lot of energy has gone into this. And we're still keeping the pink and red. We're still keeping all the little girly pop talk. Like we're still keeping the Yapper Girl corner. I don't anticipate the actual content changing that much. I just, when I'm going and like doing new graphics, new podcast cover, new name, changing up my descriptions of things, changing up how and what I do to some degree, I feel like what I'm basically doing is this rebrand is more about creating cohesion for me. It's more about how can I align my podcast with my Instagram, with my Pinterest, with my merchandise from what I choose to sell, with my offerings on my website, with my there's something I'm forgetting to mention. But basically, how can I have brand cohesion? Oh, my Patreon. I don't think I said that. With my Patreon, how can I have brand inclusivity and like brand cohesion with myself instead of feeling like I'm doing 8,000 different things and none of them are really panning out? Like, this is something I've been sitting in for a couple of years, and it's frustrating to me because I like it when things make sense. And I feel like this is we just went through a major Pisces era, right? We had Neptune in Pisces, Saturn was in Pisces. And then I've also had these eclipses hitting my midheaven, my career, right? So I feel like there's just really been this lack of cohesion, somewhat a lack of follow through from me. And like that just stresses me out in my career. I don't like that. I don't like it when things don't line up the way I want them to. And it's not even me saying like I don't like it when I don't get the opportunity, because it's not that. It's like with the things I can control, I don't like it when I'm all over the place and nothing is like I like everything to circle back to itself. Like, how many times can I say like? I like things to circle back to itself in the sense that when I'm posting a podcast, I want to post something about that on my Instagram. I want that thing to also correlate back to my Patreon. I want that thing to correspond back to any merchandise that I'm making. I want our inside jokes to be on t-shirts and on sweatshirts and on stickers. Like, this stuff, I cannot stand it when there is no brand cohesion. So just slowly getting back to myself is really what this is. It is a return home to being good at what I do, because I am good at what I do. I've just had to lose it for a little bit. And I also think this is very real in the realm of content creation. And I don't hear other content creators talking about this. Like, there are time periods where you're going to look at the stuff that you made and you're going to be like, why the fuck did I make any of this? Delete all of it. Like, I literally went through and there are things that I've gotten rid of. I went to my Chloe Taylor channel and I didn't get rid of it. I just privated like tons of the videos there that are from a previous version of myself. I went to my gaming channel and I completely privated every single thing on it because I don't game anymore like that. I game for myself, but I don't game publicly. I don't want to be known for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I've kind of really worked to try and I want to go all in. I want to go all in on the things that I'm interested in, which are my weight loss journey, astrology, and talking to my girly pops. That's all I want to do. Like, that's the speed I'm at right now. And also, I'm not going to say much because I feel like every time I do, I like shoot myself in the foot talking about it. I am also working on another project that is another podcast. I feel like every time I talk about making another podcast with like another co-host, it like always falls flat though. So I don't want to say anything else because I'm not going to curse this one. Like, well, I mean, I have had a podcast in the past that was with a dear friend, but I actually think that podcast ending when it did was good. Like, not only for me in general, but looking back on what we were doing, I think it was good for the time, but I think it was good that that project kind of fizzled out when it did. But there's like somebody you've like never even met before that we're like in cahoots working on co-hosting something. And I actually think it's way more in alignment with what I'm curious about. And I don't know. I also feel like, y'all, I'm just going to say it. I hope YouTube will let me say the word pussy. But if you thought my pussy was popping right now, you would be wrong. Like the way I am about to stunt on some motherfuckers this year. You thought I was gaining confidence now. You haven't even seen the half of it. Like, I feel like being dedicated to myself in moving my body, eating correctly, getting enough sleep, taking care of myself, casually drinking an 8:30 p.m. coffee, but that's fine. We're not that crazy, but a little crazy as a treat. I feel like it's rebuilt my confidence in myself to such a level that I've never had in my adult life. And that said, I know that there is a transit coming this year for me, affectionate, that I'm going to have Saturn trine my natal Jupiter. And I actually see this as a good transit. Like, if you thought I was popping off already, you just fucking wait. You wait until the summer when they let me out the house. Like, when Jupiter moves into Leo, I have an early I have an early Jupiter return. It's like 6 degrees Leo, I believe. I have an early return, and Jupiter's my ruling planet as a Sagittarius rising. So when Jupiter is doing Jupiter things, the last time I had a Jupiter return, mama, it was probably one of the single-handedly highlights of my life. Like 12 years ago, I had a Jupiter return. I went to Europe on another company's dime for work. So like I world traveled. I got like a 100K play button. I also made Twitch partner at that time and I was in that sector. So basically, the reason I'm bringing all this stuff up is that it's never happened like this. I've never had Saturn in Aries trine my Jupiter in Leo, and that's going to happen for me this year. It's to me a very rare alignment because Saturn is not in Aries all the time. And the last time that this happened, Saturn was not in Aries. So that I see as very benefic. I feel like if I am putting in the hard work creatively, baby girl, we're going all the way to the top. Like, if there was ever a moment in my life that I feel like I'm actually going to get any kind of recognition or like any kind of blast to the top, this is it. Like, I'm not trying to put all of my eggs into this one basket, but like, I just know I have a really important transit coming over the next like summer into the following summer, especially early on though. I know that I have an important transit coming and baby girl, I just want to use that. I'm like, also, I don't know if anybody else feels it. I just put out an Instagram reel talking about this, but Saturn moving into Aries, it changes for everybody. Even if you don't have any major placements in Saturn, it still matters. And for me, and if you're a Sag rising, it puts it in your fifth house of creativity and children. And Girlypop, the day that Saturn moved over, I feel like I felt something different. Like I went through the craziest struggle, and many of us Sag risings did. I went through the craziest struggle, I feel like, of having to learn, especially with Neptune there too in Pisces. I feel like I just went through like a familial baptism. Like the way I had to like cry and scream and go to therapy and like do all this shit to overcome childhood trauma, family trauma, things that have dealt with my past, my foundation, and where I've come from. I feel like I am getting like some reprieve now. And I feel like it's almost been instantaneous. Like, yes, it's been slowly building. We've had this transit coming. We don't have the Jupiter one yet. That's coming in the summer. But the Aries stuff is already happening. So, Sag risings, if you're a Sag rising, this is about children, creativity, childlike wonder, your joy. And you could argue that it's like restriction on joy. But I would also argue that if you're somebody that is in a creative field, if you are willing to lay the foundation and do the fucking work and like put yourself out there on the map, you're going to get the reward for that. That's how Saturn operates. Anytime you listen to that planet and say, "Hey, what kind of work are we here to do? Let's get it done." Saturn says, "Do the work. I'll reward you for it." And also, I have an Aries Mercury. Saturn moving into Aries, this is about me public speaking. This is about my podcast. This is about the ways in which I communicate using my voice, using the written word. And so, yeah, I just have like a lot of high expectations, I feel like. And we'll have to catch up, a year or so in and see how things are going. Maybe this is going to be like the greatest crash out of my life. But I don't know. I have a lot of high expectations for these transits. And I think as an astrologer, this is like one of the cool things I get to do is study things like this and try to use them to my benefit or help clients and other people use them to their benefits. Also, I'm now offering transit charts. I swear this is not one big ad for my stuff on my website, but I thought I would mention it because I don't think I've talked about it. Transit charts are new for me. That's something that I have not done in the past, but it's something that I feel like I've gotten significantly better at. And it's just like going over major transits for the next like 3 to 6 months for an individual if you choose to book that. But this is the stuff I'm talking about in there is like I can look at a birth chart and kind of see, okay, this is what's coming up. This is what's important. This is where you might struggle. This is where like, um And for once in my fucking life, I actually see some positive transits coming for me. And not just like, oh, the moon is going to be here. Like these ones are actually making really strong aspects. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I do think it's time for me to do a creative reinvention. And am I nervous? Of course. Am I afraid that but like also what do I have to lose? Like my podcast though it does get seen and there are like a lot of y'all do review it. I feel like I'm still such like a baby podcaster at this point that I really have nothing to lose. Like I only stand to gain from doing this. And also it just feels so much more me and so much more us and yeah. I don't know what else I came here to say. I didn't really have a ton of notes. I had no notes actually. I just wanted to sit and blab. So, and I didn't want to just leave y'all hanging. So, I'm taking a break. I'm going to be taking a break for I haven't set a specific date to come back, but at the very, very, very latest, it will be the spring equinox. I don't think I'm going to take that long. But we're going on like a small hiatus for like 2 or 3 weeks, I would say. We're going on a hiatus and I will be back. New graphics, new name, new everything. So get excited for that. All my links still down below. None of those things are changing except for, is there anything that's going to change down there? I don't think so. I mean, you will have to look for the podcast under the new name, but if it hasn't already been changed, like that's going to be different. But um yeah, I'm excited about this though. I think this is a fun new adventure. So anyways, we're just going to start the Apple Girl Corner. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to put my pajamas on. We're just going to sit and talk from right here because this was like an impromptu episode. So gonna be gone for a few weeks. I will be back. But for the Yapper Girl Corner, y'all, oh my God, we need to debrief on Valentine's Day, okay? If you're the jealous type and you're single, this is not the Yapper Girl Corner for you because I'm a lover girl. I've been in a relationship for almost 18 years and counting, and my man did not disappoint me, okay? First of all, y'all need to know, if you didn't already know, which you probably did, I'm a Valentine's Day girl. Like Valentine's Day is a holy day to me, and not just because like I expect my man to make some kind of big show of it. It's not about that, even though I do expect that. It's not just that. Even when I was single and like a child, I have always been obsessed with Valentine's Day. I love hearts, I love red, I love pink. I probably could say at this point those are my favorite colors. I was denying it for a long time, and I think we just need to accept that red probably really is my favorite color and pink is my favorite accent to it. But I digress. Valentine's Day just is the GOAT, okay? I love Valentine's Day, and it's not just like, oh, love between you and your partner. Like, I always think about like collective energy. And I think about this for like holidays too, because y'all know I'm not Christian, but I still be doing Christmas shit. The way I see it is on any given day where there is a lot of pomp and circumstance around it, the collective is also doing something, right? And you can tap into that energetic field. So I always think about all the people that are celebrating their love. And I'm like, oh, that's so precious. Like, obviously, there's a lot of other kinds of energy for people who don't like the holiday and think it's a Hallmark holiday or whatever, but I'm not trying to tap into all that. I'm here for the lover girls and lover boys, you know? And so I've always thought of it that way. Like, it's not just about love for another person. I think it's love for your family. I think it's love for your animals. I think it's love for yourself. And it's pink and red and hearts. Like, can't really go wrong, Girlypop. So, big fan. My man, my man, my man, my man. Okay. Oh my God. Where do I even start? He took 2 days off from work, which I think we've talked about the fact that my man works a fucking lot. Like, he has 2 jobs. He has 2 jobs and takes such excellent care of me. No notes, no complaints. But he took 2 days off. And I don't remember what we did on the Friday before Valentine's Day. I think we just hung out a whole bunch. But on Saturday, the day of, he gets up out of bed early, makes us eggs Benedict for breakfast from scratch. The man makes eggs Benedict, which is probably one of my favorite breakfasts with smoked salmon, by the way. We also had the Canadian bacon, but with smoked salmon as well on the side. Mwah, chef's kiss. And we actually had that kind of late because we were busy the night before, literally all night. So if you catch my drift, okay? And I also just need to say, we're in the Apple Corner. This is a safe space. I think the reason I'm always like on about my sex life is because I grew up Mormon and very sexually repressed, and I believe in sexual liberation for everyone. And so I don't think we should just not talk about it. Like, no, I'm not sitting here giving explicit details, but like, I think it's okay to mention those things and it not be weird. So I'm just saying, I'm here for sexual liberation. And girl, I was busy the night before, okay? And like, me and my man have been together for a long time. It is not a frequent thing that it is all night, but it was all night. We were up until like 6 in the morning. So we slept in a little bit. So it was more like brunch. And gosh, I feel like Valentine's Day also, y'all know I don't really drink anymore. Like it's just not my thing. Girlypop, tell me why. I feel like I drank so much this last weekend, and it's not something I necessarily enjoy all the time. I will say, and I don't know if I've said this before, me and alcohol are in a really good place. Like, I don't use alcohol to cope with my problems. I don't abuse alcohol in any capacity. I do like a little social drink though, and I will do that. But because I'm also trying to lose weight and I'm on a health journey, alcohol really isn't in alignment with my goals right now. And so I typically choose to abstain. But Girlypop, Friday night I had a drink, just one, but then I had a little champagne with my brunch the next day. And so we had brunch, right? And then I started getting ready by this point because I had to like shower, I had to primp, I had to curl my hair, I had to do the most, okay? Because my husband says we got reservations, honey. So we go out to my favorite sushi restaurant in the area, which, if you're in Tacoma, the Koi, it is connected to the Marriott in downtown Tacoma. It is expensive. I will not lie to you, it is not cheap. It is expensive sushi, but I think it is the best in the area. Like they always have toro, which is the tuna belly, which is my personal favorite. They always have toro, and oh my god, it's so good. And honestly, I don't think I've ever had anything there that disappointed me. So I get ready. My husband, my man, gives me a fucking family heirloom of eventually to be a family heirloom. He got me a pearl, which this is my first one, of my first real one. I tell my husband all the motherfucking time that all I want from him is flowers, chocolate, and jewelry. I am a quote unquote traditional girl, even though I know that means something else to every other person. It to me is like classic. It is classic things from at least the generations before me that I know of. I don't know what else to call it. I'm only saying this because my best friend is always like, what the fuck is traditional, bitch? I hope she's listening to this and I hope she's laughing. But to me, jewelry is a very traditional gift. And as a Taurus, I like things that are quality. I like jewelry. My love language is all the love languages because I don't think we should have to settle for one. But I do appreciate a gift. And it's not about the money. I know I've talked about this before too. It's not about how much was spent. It is about how much did you think about me? What was the intention behind that? Like, my husband could literally give me a fucking fall leaf off the ground and be like, I thought of you. And I'd be like, oh my God, cry. So it's not about even like the money of it, which I think a lot of people get confused with that. But yeah, he got me a pearl. A pearl, it is in 14 karat gold, and I am obsessed. This is like now going to be a precious family heirloom someday. Like, hello. He also got me these gold hoops, which this is my first pair of real gold hoops. All my other hoops are fake. I do feel like these ones are a little bit more casual than I typically wear, but Girlypop, like I told you, Jupiter is going to be in my Jupiter this summer. It is like if there was ever a hot girl summer that is my hot girl summer, this is my hot girl summer. I will be having a hot girl summer. I have already been working, not to be toxic, because I think it can be toxic, but like I've already been working on my body. I already been doing the damn thing. This is my hot girl summer. And I feel like these hoops are going to be so good in the summer. I think they look good with what I have on right now, but to me, they're just a little bit more of a casual hoop. And I feel like the top I'm wearing is like very dressy. Um, but regardless, I had to wear them because I wanted to show you. So yeah, my man really outdid himself this year. He got me a bouquet of roses. He took me out to that nice dinner. We did not have drinks at the sushi place because after dinner, we went to Keys on Main, which is a bar in downtown Tacoma that it has dueling pianos. And so we went and watched dueling pianos and we had a couple drinks. Again, I don't really drink this frequently, but it just was the holiday weekend, man. And you know, Valentine's Day is my shit. So I did have a couple drinks at the bar. We were singing our motherfucking hearts out, okay? You cannot seat two Sagittarius placements by the pianos. They are going to be running their mouths and piping up to the music. So we had an absolute blast. Came home right before midnight. And the next day, I had my astrology meetup because y'all know that I've been helping the coordinator a lot with these things. I'm very invested in a local astrology group that I'm a part of. And we have a meetup every, like, we have a few of them, but one specific one comes around every month. And the next day was that meetup. And we had a Galentine's Day thing for the girly pops afterwards for like some people, like some of our girly pops from the group, we did a thing with afterwards. And so I already kind of felt like shit because I had drank the night before, even though I literally had two drinks, but I had had champagne earlier in the day as well. So, like, and I don't drink. Like, I don't know how to express anymore that, like, I drink so infrequently that when my doctor asks me how frequently I drink, I tell them I don't drink because it is, I will go months without having a drink. But socially, I do feel like I sometimes like to have one. But, anyways, I already kind of feel like shit the next day because I don't typically drink and I was drinking. But we do our little meetup and that's super awesome. I had a good time there, you know, talking astrology, met a bunch of cool new people. And then we go to the Galentine's Day thing, which is at this like local wine tasting place. So I have more wine and it's like, oh my God, by the time I quit drinking, which again, I think I had a total at the wine place of 3 glasses of champagne. I am a champagne girly if I'm gonna have it. That's like it's wine or champagne and sometimes beer. I will have a cocktail rarely because I used to be the person that would drink like 4 cocktails a night and I would drink to avoid my anxiety. And it was a really vicious cycle. And now I don't do that shit anymore. Like I said, I think I actually really am in a healthy place with alcohol that it doesn't bother me to have it, but it also doesn't bother me to put it down. Like there's no control. It's not a vice for me. It's a social thing sometimes, but it's not a vice that I like it used to be though. Anyways, I will always say that I was never an alcoholic, but I did used to abuse alcohol, and there is a difference. I never needed it to do things. Like I never relied on it. But if I was going to be in a social situation, a lot of times I would drink to kind of like buffer things. And I don't know. That's a whole other tangent I don't want to get into right now. I have other episodes where I've talked about this exclusively and extensively. But anyways, I just felt like it was a lot of drinking. Like I feel like most of the days I had 2 to 3 drinks on each a day except for Friday. And like when Monday rolled around, also, I got sick. I have been fighting a cold, like it's been in my sinuses, but it's been making my jaw hurt. Like, I already know that I need dental work. I talked to y'all about this a few episodes ago, but I also have a wisdom tooth that's fully in, and then my two bottom wisdom teeth are not fully in and I know they're coming in at an angle, so like I probably need to have those pulled at some point. But this is the first time I've ever had a sinus infection. I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say infection. I don't know if it's an infection, but this is the first time I've ever been like sinus sick. and it has affected my jaw so intensely. Like, I have just not been getting very good sleep this week. It has kind of been a nightmare, Linda. Yeah, but like I feel like I fought with that all weekend, and then Monday came around, and I think because I finally let myself rest after drinking and partying, and like partying I say loosely because my idea of a party is hanging out with like one other person. But drinking and partying all weekend out of my typical routine, I feel like I just like I don't know, it all caught up with me on Monday, and I was like, "Doh, I feel like shit." So, didn't get really good sleep for a couple of days. That really sucked. And then I just like this week, I was like, I don't even know if I want to put a podcast out, but decided to anyway, decided to show up. I mean, I was already dressed up today because I was filming short form stuff for Instagram. And I was like, you know what? I'm already dressed up. I might as well just fucking film it. I might as well just sit down and yap. I can't believe this episode is 42 minutes. I thought this would just be like a 20-minute episode. What a joke. Anyways, then other things I wanted to talk about. So that was a debrief of Valentine's Day, okay? I got fucking precious treasure jewelry. My man fucking wined and dined me. I did a Galentine's Day thing, and I drank probably more than well, I actually hesitate to say that too. I don't think I drank more than I should have. There was not a single point in my weekend where I had drank too much or I felt drunk. Like, I don't like the feeling of being drunk, so I avoid it. Like, and even if I was ever going to have too much, I would do it at home because I don't like to drink and drive. So, anyways, I had a little bit of a booze cruise of a weekend for me. Anyways, it felt like a lot. And then this week I've just been like fighting my infection, but my girly pops, did you listen to Hilary Duff's new album? Y'all know that I am a defender. I'm not a Swiftie, though I can appreciate some of Taylor Swift's music. I do not consider myself a bona fide Swiftie. I do consider myself an absolute 1000% defender, which is Hillary Duff Defenders. It's unofficial, but I am definitely a defender. Girlypop, not only did I listen to the album, it was not the pop anthem that I wanted, but Hilary Duff can do no wrong. Like the way that Swifties feel about Taylor Swift, that's how I feel about my girl Hilary Duff and Britney Spears. But like Britney Spears should probably never make music again, and I would not blame her for that after everything she has been through. But Hilary Duff, on the other hand, oh my God, that bitch raised me. Bitch affectionate. She raised me. And I am the biggest fan. So Hilary Duff, her new album, not the pop anthem I wanted, but I like it. Like my favorite song is called Growing Up. I immediately sent it to my two besties and was like, this is a fire song. Makes me think of us. Listen to this shit. It's so good. I like a lot of the songs though. A lot of them are very catchy, but again, it's just like not as poppy. Like I wanted it to be more like dance heavy, and she did not deliver bubblegum pop. She delivered more of like modern pop, like I don't even know what else to call it. Like it's good music, it's catchy, but it's not really something that I would dance intentionally to, and that's always what I want. Like I love bubblegum pop. That's probably my favorite genre of music because I like happy music that you can dance to. And a lot of the songs on her album are actually quite sad. So, yeah, not the pop album that I wanted, but I'm not mad. It was a good album and I bought it on vinyl. I got a signed copy. It's coming. And and I got tickets to her show. I'm going to be seeing Hilary Duff. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I haven't even like fully processed that I have tickets to her concert. She is on world tour. She's doing a world tour and she is coming to Washington. And me and my husband are going. I'm going to see Hilary Duff. So if you're going to the concert, I'm going to be there with you and like maybe we will cross paths. I am going to the Auburn show. There's two different shows. I don't remember where the other one is, but I'm going to the one that's in Auburn. And I don't think my tickets are like the best, but they're not the worst. Girlypop, I need to save like all my money for her merch. Like any merch that she sells at that fucking show, I want one of every single thing. I'm not even playing with you. I, the merch alone, I am like, I'm gonna die. I just, I'm gonna see my Lord and Savior, Hilary Duff, and I'm gonna buy all of her merch, just snatch all of it up. Yeah, I'm going to her show. I'm so excited. This is like the most excited thing, probably the most exciting thing to happen to me since like, gosh, what was the last thing that I was like, this is really exciting. I'm so ecstatic. Oh man, that's actually really devastating. I can't think of anything except for like my best friend coming to visit. Like that's always an exciting time. Or like me going to visit her. Those are probably like my most excited moments. But like outside of that, I don't really feel like I've had a ton of stuff to be excited about the last few years. Like even moving here was rough. And even when I like moved into that house, I was still really anxious. When I got my new car several years back, but the one that I lost, like that was really nerve-wracking. Like my nervous system has not had the capacity to be super excited for a while. So this is actually really big for me. I'm really excited that I'm going to get to go see her live. I haven't been to a concert since I went to Lizzo's special concert when she was here, I think in 2022. I think it was 2022. She was here and I saw her concert in November of that year. And that was pretty exciting. I danced my ass off at her show. Literally, I think I got like 17,000 steps that night, according to my watch. Like, girly, I was moving. Okay. Is there anything else I can update you on? Um, today, I had my personal best. Working out, I have been walking. That's been my number one source of working out. And as somebody that went from being like maybe getting 3,000 steps a day max to now I get 10,000 most days, if not more than that. Like walking is actually a lot for me. But you know what is so crazy? And I'll probably save this for another episode as well, like talk about it more. I am definitely at a place with moving my body where, like, I realize and recognize that prior to what I'm doing right now, I couldn't put my laundry, like, carry it from the dryer to my bedroom 10 feet away without being winded. And now I do so much stuff and I don't get winded. Like, there, I think there's actually a lot to say, and this is not the time and place for the conversation, but I think there's a lot to say about how actually harmful some of, not all, some of the body positivity movement is. And this is something that I've had to like really come to terms with because I used to be somebody that was really about the body positivity movement. And though I'm not saying that like, I don't think it's about being skinny either. Like, I want to see strong people like taking care of their health, period. And I think it's not about being just skinny or being fat. Like, there is a wide range of bodies on the spectrum. But I just feel like even when I thought I was being healthy and I was 25 pounds heavier, I wasn't. Like there were so many times like I couldn't I had lost like parts of my mobility that I have back now. I was getting winded every time I was doing anything. Like sometimes I would be talking, just talking, and I would be winded. Like I couldn't catch my breath fast enough just to be speaking. And like, that's not healthy. Like, I don't think I realized how unhealthy I was until I have decided to be consistent about getting healthier. And I just feel like my eyes have been open to a lot recently. And I'm realizing more and more and more every day that, like, this, and I think I've kind of said this from the beginning to an extent, and I know we haven't really talked about it yet, but I feel like this actually is for life. Like me taking care of my body and moving my body and eating well, this isn't just to get to a certain size. Like this actually is for life. Like I want to be walking 10,000 steps or more for the rest of my life every day or most days. I want to be eating the way that I'm currently eating probably for the rest of my life. Like, this is not, and like, I think that's actually really good to have that sink in. Like, this is a lifestyle. It is not something that I'm just going to pick up and put down once I hit my ultimate goal. Anyways, I feel like I'm a little too tired to be having this conversation, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that has just like been on my mind health wise, but I just did my personal best today with I walk. If I don't walk on my treadmill, which is in this room, I will walk a track that's local to me. And I had my personal best. I hit a 21-minute mile, which I need y'all to know that I started at almost a 40-minute mile. Like and there's no shade if like you're farther than that or at that place. Like please don't use me as the comparison. But I started at like I think it was like a 38 point something minute mile. And today my personal best was a 21 and change minute mile. My ultimate goal is to be able to do a 15-minute mile so that I can do 4 miles in an hour. That's like what I'm working towards. And I don't know. I'm just like feeling very good. I'm feeling very good about the choices I've made, how consistent I'm being. And it's actually funny. Somebody commented on my Instagram post where I talked about or I showed what my body looks like 25 pounds down. And they were like, said something about like being discouraged. And I was like, I am not discouraged in any way, shape, or form. I am so proud of the progress that I have made. And if anything, I am only encouraged to keep going. And also, I've lost 25 pounds. We haven't talked about that. I've lost 25 pounds through diet and exercise, not dieting, but like diet as a way of eating. Through diet and exercise, I have lost 25 pounds. 72 more to go, but I'm like killing it. I am killing it. I am locked the fuck in. And like, I'm in a place now where if I eat something that like I eat out dinner one night, which I don't do very frequently, it's not like, oh my God, I shouldn't be eating that. I shouldn't do that. I now need to like starve myself tomorrow, or I need to go walk harder because I ate this thing. No, like it actually really is just balanced. I show up consistently more for my workouts, for eating well, taking care of my body, eating a lot of whole foods. And then there are like the occasional days where I have a meal, one meal that doesn't follow that criteria. And I don't feel like I need to, one tire pop, so I have to slash the other three. I feel like I really have this like sense of equilibrium with it. And anyways, I feel like the podcast is actually way longer than I wanted it to be, but we're just yapping. Okay. This was a yappy episode. You were getting a yap, and I will see you in a few weeks. I promise it won't be that long. Um, at the very latest, it will be the spring equinox, which is at the end of March. So, like March 21st ish would be the absolute latest that I would make a return. I kind of want to make a return sooner than that, though, because around the equinox, excuse me, around the equinox is when I want to start talking about my weight loss journey in detail. I've kind of set that date for myself to like come out and really start talking about it. So I almost want to return before that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll fuck around and find out. But in any case, if you haven't done so already and you want to support the show, make sure you follow me on Patreon. We're going to be going through a little revamp over there. I really want to put more vlogs together, and I'm working on my vlogging confidence because I think that is what is missing. And the more short form pieces I make, the more I'm like, Girlypop, what are you doing? Just make some fucking long form vlogs. So look out for that on my Patreon. And also just know that like Patreon really is what makes this show possible. Like my husband does work 2 jobs, but those jobs support our bills. So this is like the thing that actually supports the making of the show. So if you want to continue to see us prosper, please make sure to check out my Patreon. You can join for as low as $2.22 or as high as $14.14. And there are multiple different things at multiple different levels. Tarot, astrology, lifestyle content. That's mainly what I focus on. Would love to have you there. And follow me on Instagram because I'm still going to be posting there while I'm gone. And I love Instagram. I've made a full circle comeback, I took like 3 months off social media last year. It was really good for me. And now we are so back, at least on Instagram. I think I told you I don't have a TikTok anymore. But In any case, thank you so much for joining me. I love you so much, Girly Pop, and I will talk to you again so soon. Do not forget, when you stand in your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same and follow your plan and not your mood. Follow your plan and not your mood. This is your sign. If you haven't worked out today, go put your shoes on and go for a walk. Okay, bye.